With Haaland, Wilson and many more flagged and potentially out for Game Week 29, a lot of you are probably like me and getting forced into making some moves. So in this video, I'm going to be talking through the transfers I'm going to be making for Game Week 29. How my Game Week 28 has gone, and even though I've only had 10 players play, I've still got a green arrow. To be honest, it's my first good game week in 3 weeks now, I think. You know, the last 2 weeks in my team, I didn't even have a player score. So it's definitely an upgrade from that 82 points all round. Obviously, a big haul from Harry Wilson, big captaincy from Bruno Fernandes, and also Ekitike with a giant haul. Van Dijk also scored, Gabriel with the assist and Defcon, Thiago scoring. You know, it's very nice to see after weeks of absolute misery. It's definitely what I needed. Just outside the top 10k again. I was making my way near to 20k, so I really did need a green arrow, and it is disappointing to be outside the top 10k saying how well I've done this season. You know, the fact I got into the top 2k and then it completely went wrong. Now I feel like I need to step it up. I need to get back inside that top 10k. Yeah, David Raya and Gabriel. Again, David Raya, Arsenal offence in general, just disappointing. The second I sell Timber, he goes and grabs an 8-pointer. But Gabriel, you know, again, doesn't matter if Arsenal aren't keeping clean sheets, still just a very good asset to own. Van Dijk, the second time I've bought him, he's been very good. So far got me, what's he got me? 11 and 17. Not 11 and 17, I didn't get the 17-pointer. He's got me 11 and 7. So he's got me 18 points in 2 weeks so far to Timber's 11, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, I think to be totally honest, I did deserve some points from Van Dijk because I literally kept him through that horrible run of his when he just got absolutely no points, even though he was playing the likes of Wolves, West Ham, Burnley, and he just would not get any points. So I feel like I'm deserving of them points. Chalobah, again, didn't expect him to play. I expected Anderson. Who knows what he would have got? Probably a 4-pointer, which again would have been extra 3. Again, who knows what Haaland would have got, but I'm actually glad Haaland didn't play because I literally wanted to captain Bruno, and then last minute I went Haaland and I completely regretted it. So I'm pretty glad he didn't play, to be totally honest. So yeah, overall, not a great week. I mean, what am I on about? It is a great week. It is a very good week compared to usual. Brian Mbeumo and Elliot Anderson blanking, but Elliot Anderson, we're going to have to let him off. To be honest, I really expected at least a 3-4 pointer from him, but it is what it is. And Brian Mbeumo, you can't get something every week. He's been very good for me so far. So take a look at how my team is lining up for Game Week 29 with no transfers. I do only have one transfer, so the first -4 of the season could be getting taken this week. I don't really want it to, but if I have to, it could be getting taken this week. To be totally honest with you, the team looks pretty awful, and bear in mind, I forgot to put the yellow flag on Anderson there, so I've actually got 6 players flagged. Oh no, 5, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've got 5 players flagged this week. 2 of them definitely out, and 3 of them could be out. Really not great. Really not great. I mean, Arsenal defence, Brighton away. It's an easier fixture than they've had, but do you really trust them at the moment? Virgil with Wolves away. Again, Wolves are picking up some home form at the moment, so do you trust that? Not really. Anderson could be out if he's not. West Ham at home is a good fixture. Brian Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes with Newcastle away. Now, I don't think that's actually as bad a fixture as it looks, which is why if Haaland's out, I will speak on who could be getting the captaincy. I'll speak on it in the next section, but Bruno is probably the top candidate for me at the moment. Elliot Anderson with Manchester City away. Again, not great, especially if he's not going to hit that Defcon. Really an awful fixture, and if I could bench him, I definitely would, to be honest. Harry Wilson, again, if he's fit, nice fixture. Erling Haaland, I'm not that hopeful of him, to be totally honest. With what Pep said, he said he doesn't know if he'll be back. I'm not too hopeful, and I'll talk about what I'm thinking of doing with him in the next section. Hugo Ekitike, you might be thinking, why isn't he captain? To be honest, the assists he had were both very lucky, and the goal was a bit of a deflection as well. You know, to be totally honest, it's a very lucky haul, but that's what FPL is. It's a game of luck, so we can't complain there. Igor Thiago, he won't be going anywhere near my captaincy armband because I just think Brentford look well off it at the moment. And even though they were scoring goals, I just don't think Thiago's ever a viable captain when you've got someone like Bruno Fernandes in your team. But overall, really doesn't look great. We're just going to have to hope a lot of them flags aren't actually injured. Okay, so heading over to Plan FPL to have a look at some potential moves I could be making this week, and if a -4 is on the cards. Now, I do think it's definitely possible I take a -4, but to be honest, if it's avoidable, I would much rather avoid it. If Haaland is fit, I think it's a very, very easy roll, but again, that does depend on if these two Fulham boys are fit. Justin Ildes for Anderson, as I've already said, so hopefully he will be there. But if Wilson, if Wilson was a knock, what would I do about him? To be totally honest, I want to keep them both through whatever injury they have. Hopefully, if either of them do have injuries, it's short term because that game week 31 fixture when everyone blanks against Burnley at home is very, very nice. So to be totally honest, Chalobah would just come off the bench from one of them. Or I could do Freddie Potts to someone like a Dango Utara because I will have the money for it. I will have 5.9 to spend. So yeah, someone like a Dango Utara is definitely an option. And then whoever's injured, even if Haaland's injured, I could literally just do Dango. I think one of the big questions is who do we captain? And Bruno Fernandes could get it, but Ekatike again, Wolves away. But I don't think Wolves look that bad. I think I probably would end up just going for Bruno. But yeah, again, it doesn't even have to be Dango. Someone I was looking at actually was Ryan Gravenberch. Now, I do think Liverpool's fixtures are decent, and he does hit DEFCON quite consistently. He's been getting a few assists recently, so I would not mind a Ryan Gravenberch in my side. Also, you could go for a Ryan if you want a bit more of an explosive option. Again, decent fixtures. Brentford at home, Burnley away, and Manchester United at home. Very, very decent fixtures. 3 fixtures you think he definitely could get involved in. And yeah, I think they're probably the 3 best options for me if I was going to upgrade Freddie Potts. Again, if any price rises happen, I won't be making a move early. Saying that, we've literally got a day to decide, but I probably won't be going till deadline. So if Dango was to rise, I've not actually checked, but if he was going to, then to be fair, part of me is actually leaning towards Gravenberch, but that is such a boring move. I may go Ryan. But again, that doesn't have to happen. If we were going to sell Haaland, who would I sell Haaland to? The Man U fan inside of me does want to go Benjamin Sesko. However, I know that might not be the smartest idea. Jared Bowen could come in, or also João Pedro, one of them. I would like Raul with the fixtures. Again, very nice fixture in 31. However, with Muniz back, we do see him getting early subbed. But if he is nailed, he's on pens, he's a great player to own, and I would happily buy him. But just with the risk of minutes, to be honest, I seeing this week, I need players who are going to play. But again, I don't actually know if selling Haaland would make the most sense for my team, especially if he's only out for sort of a week or two. If he is only out for a week, definitely just going to bench him and sell Freddie Potts because I do need to fix that Potts position. It will help me a lot more in 31. Again, Haaland will blank in 31, so you could argue that. But I mean, there's so many ways I could go. I would like Semenyo. I'm not gonna lie. I would really, really like Semenyo, and if I was to take a -4, that could definitely be something I did. Who would we bringing up front? I mean, even Solanke definitely could be an option. I just not very inspiring though, is it? Right, let's just do it for the sake of it. Benjamin Sesko comes in. I mean, this week you'd bench Anderson, but again, I don't really like Sesko's fixtures, even though if you've not seen, he is playing absolutely out of this world at the moment. But I don't know really. Uh, Again, I'd want to play Anderson this week. Wouldn't be able to. There's a lot really. Maybe I could risk Raul and just hope he gets minutes. To be honest, it's a pretty hard decision to make in literally a day. I mean, I've got tonight to think about it, Sunday night, and I've got tomorrow, Monday to think about it, and then deadlines on Tuesday. I probably won't have much time on Tuesday to think about it. I'll get home, and then the deadline is at 6 o'clock, so I won't get much time. Again, Semenyo looks really nice, but then if you come across to game week 31, you're in trouble just because you have all of them players blank. And hopefully Mukiele's back by then. Hopefully we can just play Mukiele. To be fair, having a look at this, I could pretty easily get Semenyo in. So if I did want to take a -4, it's definitely on the cards because that team does not look too bad for game week 31. Again, Sesko, would I really go for him? I do think he has nailed his spot at the moment with how well he is playing, but again, Raul would make a lot more sense if he was playing. Would I get Anderson into the side this week again? The only thing is, this is causing benching headaches as well. You could bench Raul or Wilson this week, but would you really want to? Because I genuinely would like to play Anderson against Fulham at home. But I don't know. Chalobah could play this week over Anderson. Yeah, triple Fulham, to be honest, does not fill me with much hope either. And I really, really want to take that punt on Benjamin Sesko. So I'm very tempted to do that. But anyways, that is it for now. Again, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. If Haaland is out, to be fair, most likely I'm either going to take a punt on Raul and hope his minutes are good, or play it safe with someone like a Jared Bowen, or again, take a punt on Benjamin Sesko. I know the Man U fan inside me really, really wants to do that. Again, not even mention João Pedro. João Pedro could be the one. So many options. You just have to get it right with these 3 weeks. And again, as I've said many times, Semenyo just keeps on killing my rank. I can afford to bench him. I can afford to get a City player, which, to be honest, my whole idea was O'Reilly. My whole idea was Mukiele or Chalobah to O'Reilly this week, but injuries happened. So now that has complicated it a bit. And O'Reilly got injured. So to be fair, I nearly took a -4 for O'Reilly as well. So thank God I didn't do that, because if he was injured, that would have not ended up very, very well. So yeah, it's either going to be Haaland or Potts out this week. If Haaland is injured. If Haaland's not injured, for me, it's a very, very easy roll. I don't even need to touch the team. If Haaland is injured, then ideally I don't want to take a -4. It just depends how many points I think Semenyo is going to get and if he is really going to destroy my rank. Because if he is, to be totally honest, I mean, he has been killing me this season. Half the reason that I'm, not in the top 5K right now is genuinely just because of Semenyo and João Pedro. If it wasn't for them two in these past few weeks, I genuinely believe I would still be in the top 2K. But we're back in the top 9K now, so we are getting back there. Hopefully, we can get another big green arrow next week. To be honest with you, I'm not too confident looking at this squad. But anyway, that is it for now. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.